What is up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great time. Hope you guys can hear me all right. I'm coming to you from the Bangkok Bro studio here on the beach. But I'm doing a different camera setup today. We got the curtain behind me, got the camera kind of up in my grill, maybe not enough up in my grill. Maybe there'll be a little bit more zooming in here to do. Depends on how much of my grill you guys like. Maybe we can get a little bit more. Get a little bit more. Hold on, that's too much. There you go. There you go. That's appropriate levels of mindset. Want to make sure that you guys are really focused in on what's important. And that is, of course, not myself, but the malfeasance of Disney. Hope you guys are doing good out there. Shout out to the BLM and everybody else out there. Public cable TV access. Look, yes, welcome to your public access mindset. This is your PBS mindset, if you will. 50 Shades of Blue. Yes. I'll try to get a little bit. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a little bit more like close up. There you go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Is that better is that better, guys? Is it clear now? Are we clear now? Can you see my beautiful face? And of course, we are doing this absolutely 100% live. Hope you guys are enjoying this. And enjoying the live streams, because of course I always try to go live with you guys. I never want to pre-record. I have to pre-record, but I don't want to. I always want to be live with you guys. It's a constant. It's a constant. Of course, we are live on YouTube, Rumble, and on Locals. So hopefully it's better for all of you guys. And I see you guys over there. I see the squad on Rumble. I see the squad on Locals. By the way, on Locals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a live chat up. So I'm going to leave a live chat up on Locals throughout the next, until the next stream. So if you guys want to have any comments, want to talk at all, you can drop that in the live chat. In fact, I may even leave the live chat up through the next stream. So the live chat on Locals, I'm just playing with how we do it. You know, we've always got a couple OGs in the live chat, but, you know, perhaps we just want to leave it up and just see if you guys, want to drop any memes in there, want to drop any articles, want to drop any information. So just playing with Locals, making this, making sure we do the best thing there for Locals. Of course, tonight, what we are going to talk about is we're going to go through some of the receipts. So that is some of the exhibits that the CFTOD included. Now, I have not independently gone through these exhibits. I have not gone through all of them. In fact, I wanted to save my live reaction. So it's like live lawyer reacts to the exhibits. Now, some of them I'm predicting will be less exciting. They'll be less sexy. Some of the exhibits will have way more clear evidence of Disney wrongdoing. And as we go through them, I'm going to talk about the potential crimes implicated here. So we're going to go through these exhibits, and live, I'm going to talk to you about what the exhibits, which are potential evidence. Once again, they're not evidence yet. I'm very careful about that. I once was a little spiky with Nate the lawyer over the word evidence. So I'm going to be clear about it on my channel. Evidence means to me something that's been entered into evidence in court. So none of this has been entered into evidence in court. It is not yet legal evidence, but it may be evidence in the colloquial sense of Disney's wrongdoing, and the fact that it may show facts or demonstrate facts that are able to prove Disney's wrongdoing. If indeed these documents are authentic, which I have every reason to believe they would be, I don't think that a government is going to turn in fake documents. So giving the CFTOD, giving the district the benefit of the doubt, when we look at these documents, we're going to see what facts do we have here that will lead us to certain crimes. So there's 78 exhibits. We're probably not going to get all of them done today. We're probably going to have to do a part 1 and a part 2. But I wanted to have my live reaction because I want to show people this is not based on just me being hyperbolic. This is not just me ranting. There's actual receipts. There's actual proof of Disney wrongdoing. So we're going to talk about that and show that today. It's going to be a little bit different stream today. Michael C. says, any comment? Has there been any comment from any other taxpayers of CFD on the audit results? So I will say this in confidence. After my stream, I had other taxpayers in the district email me. I'm going to say this again. Listen up. After my stream, I had to my channel email, I had several taxpayers email me. I did not respond to them yet because I want to be very careful how I respond to the taxpayers and what I say to them, what representations I make, because I am indeed a lawyer. So I don't make any false representations. I want to be very careful that I'm not establishing an attorney-client relationship with them. But I indeed had them email me that they were concerned. So they are indeed concerned. They're indeed concerned. There are people that are actual taxpayers. I looked them up. They own the land. They're within Disney, and they are concerned about this. So yeah, people are waking up to this. And a lot of folks had no idea that they were being charged double. So for example, one of the things the CFTOD said was that many of the landowners are being charged double for the expenses of the district. They're paying district taxes, and also Disney is charging them what they're calling common area maintenance, CAM. And as part of that CAM, they are including their own district charges. So Disney is not even paying the 80% of the taxes they say they're paying. They're probably paying something like 50%. And of that 50%, they get a large amount back in the kickbacks they were getting for decades. So Disney is not paying as much as they say they're paying. In fact, Disney is paying a lot less than they say they're paying. But you know who's paying a lot? Tim Riggs with 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Guys, I have to be real with you. Last time we set a channel record. Last stream, we set a channel record for memberships. We had 320 memberships, and I am so thankful for all of you guys for donating. Tim Riggs, you're an absolute OG. You're a Chad. Thank you so much, because so many people have gone green because of you. And when I look at the chat, right here, it is a sea of green. So thank you so much for helping everybody else out, giving them access to the emojis, the member-only streams, everything else. Those guys that are out here, you're in the chat, you're not a member yet. I guarantee you will be a member because people are so generous on this channel. I wanted to see a wall of green, and you guys are really helping me accomplish that. So thank you so much. Appreciate all y'all for helping out with that. It really makes me feel good to see so much in the base legal mindset. Smopo Vienna says, smash that like, folks. Greetings from Vienna. Grüß Gott from over here in Thailand. Good to see you. I always love a good Wiener Schnitzel. You guys can get on that level of the schnitzel. Don't let the rat off the chicken sip. Oh, I'm not. Oh, believe me, I'm not. Guys, when I first came onto this topic, when I first discovered this as a potential legal issue, I was all over it because I was in it, because I knew how dirty RCID was. And as we go on in this process, everyone else is going to jump on the ship and start commenting on it. They're all going to be like little, crabs into a bucket, because they're going to see that this is a real issue with real crimes and real prosecution. Your boy was here first. Your boy is glad that everybody else is catching up to me, but we are not going to let this up. We are carrying the Disney stuff through. Now, that being said, I will cover other topics. In fact, I'm really interested in covering the Elon versus media matters, because Elon right now is really, really, really taking it to Bob Iger and taking it to Disney. There's an intersection here of real free speech versus Disney free speech. Real free speech is reinstating Alex Jones on Twitter. Disney free speech is being woke, having a corrupt crony district government that shouldn't be a government at all, right? So creating this crony, corrupt corporate town, and when that corporate town is dissolved for very legitimate reasons, you complain and whine about it. That's Disney free speech. It's like Disney bucks versus real money, right? Disney bucks, yeah, you can buy some Mickey ears, okay? Real money, buy real assets, okay? Buy real assets. So thank you guys, and appreciate all you guys in the chat right now, and also appreciate all the other streamers that I've been streaming with. I want to give a big shout out to Jonas J. Campbell, Valiant Renegade, WW Pro, Mexican Iron Man, all of these guys that have been really good friends of mine. They've been friends of the channel. They've been really helping me out throughout the years and throughout the days. So I want to say just thank you to those guys, because without those guys, look, this would not be as successful of a thing, and this would not be as much of a thing. So I just want to say thank you to those guys as well. And I want to share this out real quick on Twitter. So just let me go ahead and I'm going to share this link out for everybody. Now, if you guys, when you see it on Twitter, if you guys could repost it, that would be fantastic. So I'm just exposing Disney's dirty receipts live now. Okay, so perfect. That is out on Twitter. All right, so let's go ahead here. And Peter Shell, welcome as a new member. Appreciate you. And welcome to the BLM, the Base Legal Mindset, the best membership program out there in the YouTube lands. Okay, let's just jump right into it without further ado, without any further time here. Let's get into it today. Oh, also, Mexican Iron Man, I am going to send you an invite on the Twitters. If you want to hop in here, if you want to talk, if you want to give your 2 cents, I know you're on a million different channels. But if you do want to hop on, I know you read the audit. I know you saw it. So I would love to get your 2 cents as we go through this today. So I sent you a link. If you want to join, you can. So for you guys' information, what we're doing today is we're going through the CFTOD exhibits. Now, I don't think anybody else has done this yet. I would have done this earlier, but I don't have internet at my current apartment in Bangkok. So I was not able to do this. But these are the exhibits from the meeting on January 6th. So these are the January 6th meeting exhibits. So all of these exhibits here. Now, we are not going to have time to go through all of them. What I want to do is just go through some of them and be able to go through some of these exhibits and show you, as part of these receipts, as part of these exhibits, which ones implicate a crime, which ones show a criminal behavior or potential criminal behavior. Right? Because the one thing I get from all my critics is they say, Andrew, where are your receipts? Right? The haters say there's no evidence. And first of all, I say, well, there's no evidence yet because there's no trial. But there are facts that strongly support criminal behaviors, a showing of criminal behavior. And I am confident that once these things are brought by the Florida AG, once they're taken to trial, that Disney will be proven guilty. Because these are, in many cases, financial crimes, which are very easy to prove. You've done a thing with money that you shouldn't have spent there. There's no intent. There's no, did you know? Did you not know? Did you maliciously know? I mean, that can make it worse, right? With a lot of these crimes, if you did it knowingly or maliciously, that can aggravate the crime, that can get you more time in jail. But with these crimes, just spending the money in an improper manner is enough. Speaking of spending money in a proper manner, though, I got to give a quick shout out to Bella Stella with 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you, Bella. You've been a long supporter of this channel, and you are a good friend of mine. So I really deeply appreciate you, Bella. Thank you so much for those 20 Legal Mindset memberships, helping us create a sea of blue here on the Legal Mindset. Maria Trujillo says, the best part, when the dust settles, it's going to be the public record. Documentaries, legal dramas, hours of entertainment are up for the taking. And I hope to help with all of those. I frankly hope to help. Now, I know a lot of you want me to do something and create more of a product for this. So I may try to put together kind of a book, or at least at very minimum, like maybe like an ebook or some sort of summary of this, so you guys can share this out, so you guys can have something to show people, say, look, this is the dirty history of Disney, and this is what's really going on. This is Disney's issues under Bob Iger, really under the RCID, which frankly was enabled by Bob Iger, right? Which was not made better by Iger, which was absolutely permitted to continue its dirty business under Bob Iger. And Bob Iger thought they were untouchable. He thought they can never be caught. Unfortunately for Bob, that is not true. That is not true. Alan West says, I'm here for the receipts. You're going to indeed get them today. So don't you worry. Sit back and we will get this here. Chiharu Moore says, is there a way to give Legal Mindset money without giving it to the Communist YouTube? Yes. PayPal. I have my PayPal. You can directly send me a PayPal. My good friend Ted Park, he does that all the time. He sends me whiskey money on PayPal. If you write me a PayPal, let me know in the PayPal whether you want me to read it or not. I will not read your name. I will not dox you, but I will just read the message. So if you want to put like your handle in the message, like, hey, this is from Chiharu Mori, right? Chiharu Mori says blah, blah, blah. You can send it that way. You can also do it on Locals or on Rumble, right? Because all of those platforms are not as cucked as YouTube. So just throwing that out there. I'm still waiting on YouTube to let old Alex back. Still waiting on that. Okay, so let's get into it with the first receipt. So the first thing we've got is the exhibit showing some of and a lot of these are going to be very standard. So the first exhibit number 1, is actually the professor's CV. So this is one of the first ones we have here from exhibit 1A of 78 exhibits. And this exhibit is actually the professor's CV. So one thing you want to know is all of these guys have serious credentials, and their credentials are attached as exhibits. Now, these guys are not people who came from like Podunk, wherever. And there's not a problem with people from Podunk wherever. But the thing is, a lot of people will discredit experts if they're very partisan, if they're from the middle, if they're from somewhere no one recognizes. Professor Koshin, it teaches at the Antonin Scalia Law School at George Mason. He went to Cornell, right? He's been teaching at the George Mason University. He's taught at Georgetown. He taught at Chapman, at Fowler, University of Virginia. He was at George Mason School of Law, and then he was also in a associate at Powell and Mooring in natural resources and environmental law. So he knows a lot about government law, because environmental law, a lot of that's government law. I did that for a bit as a intern, sort of as a like summer thing. Yeah, it's a lot of government law. So this guy's got serious chops. That's attached as exhibit number 1. Exhibit number 2 we have is his actual report. So we've got him coming through with his report. And a lot of these folks, for example, this is the professor's report. He pretty much read off of his report. So I'm not going to read this again, but just understand as you're going through this, if you want to see their full reports, which are actually quite lengthy, you can go here and read these. This expert's report alone, just his report, is 59 pages. And if you want to read the summary, which I think this is very poignant here. So time-tested structures designed to limit government action and prevent private co-option of governance for private profit have purpose and utility. They prevent the concentration of benefits on a few powerful special interests at the expense of public and ultimately at the expense of market competition. Favored actors like Disney should not be given an artificial leg up over other less favored or less powerful private actors in the marketplace. This report is a first step in a much needed inquiry into the legal and constitutional authority and infirmities and structural strengths and abnormalities that exist within the governance of the former RCID. It evaluated the contours of the 1967 Act, the authorities of RCID, and the good governance and democratic accountability concerned with each. And let me just go down here to the main conclusion here, right? While this report has identified substantial factual support to test these predictions, a continuation of the evaluative process should be a major focus of future investigative efforts to develop a more complete record of RCID and Disney operations. The standards of good governance and democratic accountability can be restored, but doing so will require an analysis of the infirmities in the system across those metrics. And it requires acknowledgement of the duty to take corrective action to infuse the system with these features and to excise the system. Excise means remove, right? Remove the system of the undue private influence of the 1967 Act by the RCID structure and by the failure to expose and publicly acknowledge the infirmities brought by private interest dominance. What that means is Disney controlling the district made it sick. It perverted it as a platform as a government. Disney controlling RCID as a corporate town absolutely destroyed the purpose of that as a government, right? Them controlling that as just something that was their puppet, it defeats the point. It defeats the entire point of that. So we've got a lot of, following that, we have a lot of exhibits. I'm going to skip the exhibits with the CVs, with the basic reports. Those are things that you guys can read on your own. You guys can check those out. A lot of these reports are very, very, very lengthy. Some are a little bit shorter, but certainly all of them identify issues. So for example, I'll just show you real quick. The Kimley-Horn exhibit, which is actually the exhibit which shows the urban planning issues, and I've worked with Kimley-Horn. They're very good. They know what they're talking about. They identified a lot of issues. They had general findings. They identified infirmities of the plan. So the infirmities meaning issues with the planning of RCID. So if you look down here and you see starting on page 7, right, we can see there are issues with Reedy Creek. So let's look at this. Let's look at this real quick. At the time that the Reedy Creek Improvement Act was conceived 60 years ago, it was a unique document, inspired by Walt's vision for a completely new city. Since that time, a great deal has changed, especially regarding the regional context within which Disney World was initially conceived and planned. Because, of course, yes, Disney was planned to be a city within the region, right? Disney was planned to be something that was supporting Central Florida as a city, not just as a theme park, not just as a one-off. It's supposed to be something that was actually having employees living within that city, working within that city. That's what was supposed to happen. Of course, that never, ever happened. Some of the contemplated activities promised never materialized. This includes failure to develop any housing within the district, placing pressures on housing for Disney employees into neighboring communities, and requiring those communities to pay for the growing populations driven by Disney's growth. Disney was growing and not paying for any of their employees. They were grifting off of the money of Orange and Osceola County. They were making everybody else pay for their growth. The comprehensive plan in 2032 was not properly adopted and is not effective. Okay, this conclusion here, this conclusion alone, right, that they didn't adopt it, this is, guys, you know how big this is? Okay, this is what people who aren't professionals, who don't know this. I worked with Kimley-Horn for almost a decade. I never, ever saw them say that anything was not properly adopted or effective. You have experts in urban planning, specifically in Florida community development districts, Florida special districts. Kimley-Horn is a specialist in that. And they're telling you that their comprehensive plan is not proper. They're fucked. Disney is fucked. I'm telling you that right now, me to you guys. This report, seeing things like this as an actual local government attorney, they're screwed. This is evidence from an expert witness that says their comprehensive plan is bunk. You know what their comprehensive plan was coupled with? A bunch of documents which were impermissive, which were illegal, and they were included in the state lawsuit. What this means is these guys, if there's a trial at the state lawsuit, if we don't get a summary judgment, Kimley-Horn will be testifying at the state lawsuit. These guys will be an expert witness, and they will say what Disney did was illegal and improper. Disney's screwed. They don't have a single planner, a single expert in local government law that can get up there and say with a straight face that what they did was proper under the law. What they've got is some commie New York, DC, and California lawyers that are willing to delay. So they hope they get through the election season, and they pray that Ron DeSantis backs off after election season or whatever they're praying for. They can delay, but they are absolutely damned by these findings. Tim Riggs says Disney needs to be punished for its crimes, not only for what it has done, but also to show the corporations are accountable for the crimes as anyone, justice for all. He also says, Tim Riggs also says here, I just want to call out how great it is to have real lawyers, accountants getting together on YouTube to audience for real analysis. So much better than the garbage mainstream media puts on for 2 minutes. Speaking of 2 minutes at the time, there's my homie, my hombre, who goes for much more than 2 minutes. This man can audit all night long. And his name is Mike, a.k.a. Mexican Iron Man. Mike! My brother, I have been waiting so long to get you on to talk about this because I know, look, you were in a meeting, you were tied up, you're with a client, but I sent this to you. I'm like, homie.
Bro, I flew to
this audit, bro.
My client, we flew out Monday, and I was from like, we were in this training. I never do this with clients, but this is a real special client of mine. And from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week, from 8 a.m. till 6, I was tied up all day with his management team. And so you sent me the thing, and I'm like, well, because I'd already, as soon as this thing dropped, I was getting blown up on Monday. I was
yep, I bet you were.
I was you were. I'm getting texts, I'm getting DMs, I'm getting emails, like my shit's blowing up. Like, what the fuck is happening? Right. And then when you went live, I actually I was listening to. I had one ear, and I was listening to you while we were. And then I read it the other night.
Yeah.
Look, people. Andrew,
Mike, am I making it all up? Am I just being like hyper? Am I being hyperbolic? Am I being like extreme here? Like,
no,
like
for those who don't know me, before I give you my answer on that question.
Yeah.
I myself, through my firm since 2006, I've probably done over 60 audits of transactions. Audits are like when a company is going to go and invest in another company, buy another company. I've done I did a LexisNexis audit for like 68 million on an entity. I did a Twitter acquisition a while back of a company that they were going to do when I had my office in Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of shit. Okay, I've seen a lot of shit in my day. Yeah. And as those who don't know me, I used to do special tax districts for the city of San Jose and the county of Santa Clara when I worked for the mayor's office, and I was on the redevelopment team. I'm very familiar with all this stuff. And you ought to do a live stream of just the stuff you predicted, what, a year and a half ago now?
Yes.
There were things that you said a year to a year and a half ago. I think it was then, something like that. And you're like, watch as these things unfold. Here's what we're probably going to find. Here's what we're probably going to see. And now, holy crap. So no, you are not being hyperbolic. This is completely ridiculous. This is insane. Since you're looking at exhibits, the next one going down on the list, if I could.
Yeah, sure. You want to pull up one here? Any specific?
Things. I just want to, if I could share just a couple.
Yeah. You want to share it? I'll pull it up. I mean, we're going for receipts today, so whatever you as a person who's looking at an audit would find like important. Okay, this is Bill Jennings. This is their forensic accountant. So I was saying, look, I worked with him once regarding an issue at Celebration, but like this guy is no joke, right? I mean, this guy is serious credential. He's not some like partisan hack who has he went to some weird side business. This is a serious guy.
First of all, he's got every license under the sun that any accountant could get. He's not only a CPA, he's a certified asset business valuation analyst. I mean, right. I could go on and on about that. He's been retained. He's been in some of the largest forensic investigations around the world, business evaluations, asset recovery. The guy, look, let's just shoot up to this. The guy's got over 40 years of experience. Now, I don't know him. I've never met him, but in the world of tax, accounting, and finance, this guy is legend, Andrew. It's literally, in my world, it's the equivalent of like, I don't know, you're going to put together a team. I know. You got
It's the Avengers. It's the Avengers of forensic accounting, right? Yeah, this guy is on the Avengers of forensic accounting. This guy is like
Captain America, okay? This guy is like, you're going to put together as an expansion football team, and you're going to invite, I don't know, Tom Brady.
Well, I'm going to have you for the diversity points, Mike. You get to be on the Avengers.
I'll be on the team for diversity. Look, and I'm a badass. Right. I went to Stanford. I went.
You are.
But I am no William Jennings. That is for sure. Okay, so that's number one. Number one, this guy cannot be bought. His integrity is literally unparalleled. He is legend. Right. He is OG. He is amazing. Now, The other thing too to look is that this report, I read the actual report, and I
his
read,
forensic accounting report.
yeah. And
Okay.
Look, it's another 46-page read. We're not going to do it here and now.
Sure.
A lot of the highlights that that someone could bring up, have certainly been brought up, in your things and all that. But when you talk about criminal things, is there evidence? Dude, homeboy pulled the guy's Amex card.
Yeah, it's American Express.
Yeah.
Like, he put all of this on the Amex. I mean, like, look, he didn't even try to hide it.
No, golf course concessions. And this explains a lot, Andrew, why you've covered some of these people that show up, some of these wackos that show up, thinking that they still want their little benefits. They still want their little benefits. Right. And I've had some people push back on me about you and saying that, hey, you and Andrew and Val, you guys are being crazy because, hey, look, if Disney is the largest property holder, they should be getting benefits. No,
it's illegal. It's still illegal.
That is not how government works, people. Yeah. This is not how government works by any stretch of the imagination. So if someone really wants to see the receipts, the hard receipts, you go to this guy's report, which is right after. First, go to Exhibit 2.
2B. It's 2B. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can really take a look at this. But for those who still question whether or not this guy's legit, I don't know. How about you go to Amazon and buy literally the book he wrote called Fraud?
Hold on. What is the name there? What is the name of the book?
That would be Fraud Investigation and Forensic Accounting in the Real World.
We're literally talking about the guy that knows, like, if anybody knows what fraud is, the guy who literally wrote the book on fraud. Like, he wrote the book on fraud, and, like, come on, people. Disney, like, when I say Disney is screwed, can I not? I know maybe, okay, people think, okay, well, Andrew, does this mean they're guilty in court? No, not yet, right? There's not a conviction today, but just you wait, right? These cases are not built in a day, right? It's not like, oh, tomorrow they're convicted. No, but there will be charges, particularly in Florida, coming from the AG. There's no way they cannot make charges or investigate at the very least, and then press some sort of charges for this, because this is absolutely unparalleled. And when you have an expert that knows fraud saying, wow, this looks a lot like fraud and bribery, there's a problem, right? Absolutely. Like, there's when you have and you guys, you don't understand. In the world of government, this does not happen. No. You never have audits coming out that are saying, yeah, there was fraud here. Because the potential for defamation, the potential for damages, the potential for countersuits, an expert, especially someone like Bill Jennings, is not going to come out there and put their reputation on the line.
No.
And say, oh, yeah, I'm being a partisan hack. Oh, this is all about freedom of speech. Shut the hell up. Okay? Nobody, this guy, these other experts, they're not going to put their reputation on the line for this. Look, I know what people can say about me or you. Oh, we're YouTubers. We're doing it for the views, the clickbait, whatever. This guy is not going to come out here and put his livelihood and his name down on a report and say these things unless he can back them up substantially. Just period.
Yeah. The other thing too is this guy is such a badass that he's actually done audits around the globe, around the world. Now, I've done international accounting standards. That's an even smaller group of those who know American accounting standards. Look, this guy is literally a badass. Anyone questioning you, Andrew, or your coverage of this is literally delusional or unintelligent or unwilling to do the research by every stretch of the imagination.
Oftentimes it's all of the above, because a lot of the people they really want to believe. They just want to believe. And it's that only, I think only a Disney adult, only somebody who's completely within that cycle can enter into such a dissonance where it's nothing that Disney does can be wrong. Like that they cannot do anything possibly wrong. And listen, all of us, and we all come from a background where I want Disney to be better. I want them to be back in the.
Absolutely.
We all want them to be back. I liked Disney for the longest time. Okay, I'm not doing this because I hate Disney and I'm a big old Disney hater. No, I actually, and despite the fact they're representing Universal, even Universal folks, they would say it themselves. Look, it's better for Central Florida if all the theme parks are doing well. Because guess what? If they come for Disney and Disney's awesome, they'll also go to Universal. They'll also go to SeaWorld. They'll also go to Legoland, right? Central Florida does better when all the theme parks do better, okay? So I'm not wishing the demise of Disney. However, we have to acknowledge the facts. Facts is they're screwing up. They're screwing up in the box office. They're screwed up in the boardroom, and they certainly screwed up at Reedy Creek. Quick here, Leprechaun Gold sent a $4 super sticker. Thank you so much, Leprechaun Gold. Appreciate you. And then Is This Live sent a member chat for 4 months. Says Mike, the Iron YouTuber. Have you just accepted the title?
Not really.
Okay.
The cause has been majorly set back because Gary Nerdrotic on his channel has said I am a YouTuber. That didn't help at all.
Oh, you're done. You're done. You're done. It's a kiss of death.
Yeah.
It's a kiss of death.
Kind of like the Pope of YouTube, creator types.
Yeah. He's in. He's kissed you. That's it. Maria Trujillo says the auditors are basically the main characters from other stories. You would have to tone down their credentials because they're too epic.
Mario Trujillo's on point. That is actually right. When I saw that they had Jennings, my chin dropped. I had no idea Jennings was on this case at all until you sent me the link about this. When I opened it, I'm like, well, who the hell wrote this? I went right to the thing and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. And the thing is, like you said, some of the things that jumped out with you, like the district administrator charging Disney benefits, Disney cruises, Disney special events to his personal Amex, chalking up $166K just in like a year or like 15 months. I mean, that is just staggering.
And here's the other thing. You know why he was doing that is he wanted the Amex points because fun fact.
Right. His pure greed for wanting the Amex points.
Yeah, fun fact, people that don't have Amex cards, most of whom are business owners, but fun fact, if you don't have an Amex card, if you are an Amex card holder, you'll know this. The points stack up, rack up, and there's a lot of benefits to having those points because you literally can use them any place, anytime, anywhere for almost anything. And if you can rack up enough, they give you bonus points as well.
He wanted that. He wanted those points. He definitely wanted those points. Real quick, Clay N for $10 says, well, crap. I only use up what I got now, but now as the guy who started a 40-year career developing special tax districts and municipal tax-free municipal bonds, I was an old-time watcher, knew you are dead on, as New Disney was just about to make your days, weeks, and years of dead-on commentary of this crap. I'm just waiting for the bond fraud to kick in. You will be golden. Just you and just me on YouTube chat later. Got to go load the wallet. Peace out. Thank you so much, Clay Ann. Appreciate you for donating. And look, everybody who knows anything about munis, Mike, the people that DM me, they're like, dude, I'm in munis. Or like, I know Jay Bleep got, he's a long guy. He's commented here. He said the reports of the conservative tip of the iceberg. Jay said, look, man, we both have done munis. We both know municipal tax bonds. This is just the beginning right now. These guys are so screwed, right? We're talking about potential bondholder lawsuits. We're talking about disclosure issues, talking about MSRB rule violations.
Right.
We're talking about SEC getting involved. Like, if these things prove to be true and they go through this and the AG pursues this, they are absolutely in deep shit. Not to mention, hold on, that they're going to piss off institutional investors that bought those bonds that also have relationships with Disney. So they're going to screw up their institutional relationships, their relationship with big banks, big lenders that also are lending to Disney. You think those guys are going to be happy about their investments in Disney itself after they get screwed with RCID? Nope. Go ahead, Mike.
I almost want to ask you this question because I pondered this last week, because when you talk about those violations, is it the fact that they aren't really municipal bonds is a bigger issue? Is it the fact that the use of the proceeds from those bonds wasn't actually there? Was it the case that at the same time they're floating corporate bonds out on their corporate side while they're doing this municipal side? Was it also, I think, the other thing too, when you look at things like the power plant, you know, I remember one of the things that we caught
Power
our
plan.
redevelopment agency doing is there was double funding going on the OPEX
Yes.
and the CapEx side, and they would use the
Yes.
CapEx money to do something so that they could free up the other money to do other shit to cover some losses. I found that on an internal municipal audit one time. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's all of those and more, right, Andrew? I mean,
No, absolutely. So like everything you mentioned is an independent cause of action. So you just mentioned 4 separate things. So first of all, public-private, right? Were these even really truly municipal bonds? If Disney isn't acting like a government, there's a lot of case law involving the villages, involving other places in Florida, where they can look at it and say, nope, this was actually a government. These were actually private bonds. You now owe us millions of dollars in back taxes, or at this point, I mean, it could be tens of millions of dollars, excuse me, in back taxes, potentially even hundreds of millions. I would have to go back and calculate the beginning of our CID, when they would go back, but you owe all these taxes on these bonds that weren't truly public. They were private, and therefore you need to pay us. That's what happened to the villages. The villages got hit and said, nope, your roads aren't actually public. They're actually private, and therefore you need to pay us back. You need to pay those as if they were private.
I remember that case. The IRS got involved. The IRS.
Yes, they issued a technical TAM on that. So this was a technical advisory memorandum. So like this is an issue which could have massive repercussions. So that's just on are they actually public? But even if they're public, okay, so you actually bought these assets like the power plant with public bonds, but they're owned and controlled and operated by Disney, and Disney's been kind of like, even though the district technically on paper owns them, Disney's been controlling them. Disney's been excluding the district from access, right? You have this Reedy Creek Energy Services, which I called out. Go back and watch my video. I have a standalone video where I identified Reedy Creek Energy Services as a massive issue. And guess what they brought up here? Multiple times in the actual video, they brought up Reedy Creek Energy Services. There is some skeletons buried with that power plant, because that is where they're getting issues. For example, I went back, Mike, and I checked the bond documents. And guess what they said? So in the meeting, they said that they found out that the power plant, how much power, Mike, has the power plant actually produced at Disney? Do you know? Did you catch that during the meeting?
I hope a lot.
Zero. For all those millions of dollars, they have produced zero electricity.
Of course,
all of the electricity is purchased from Duke Power. All of it. And to be clear, by the way, I did some research on this. Those solar panels are actually not owned by RCID. They're owned by Duke, and RCID owns the land. They leased it to Duke, and Duke sells them back the power. So RCID, despite the fact they can produce power, actually produces zero power themselves.
You know, Andrew, I'm reminded of that live stream show that you did, where you talked about the original vision of Walt had for this region and this area. You know, the Epcot dream and all that.
Oh yeah.
How far we have fallen from Walt's dream.
Yeah, this is so far from it. And Mike, some people have asked me, look, how much did Walt know, or what did he not know? Dude, Walt was here like 60 years ago. The guy has no way to know the way they perverted this district and used it over the years. And I'm sure that he would have a problem with the level of cronyism and corruption that is going on to this day. I'm sure he would have a massive problem with the way it's being used under Bob Iger.
I mean,
I have no doubt about
it. It's almost like that. You take that castle that's on the hill, at Orlando, or the one in Disneyland. There once was a dream. Now it just happens to be filled with in a casino run by the mob with a bunch of whores on the second floor.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me read a couple of these chats here. David Marsh for 5 Canadian says, this chat is brought to you my Express Gold Card. Bring on those big points. Well, it's Express. Like one thing, David, American Express is great, but one thing those points won't buy you is out of state prison. So that's one thing they will not buy you. Oh, so John Classy, the administrator, he should be shitting his pants right now, because he went on
they're
for
the ones they're the ones who have the most direct. They're the ones in the most direct line of fire.
John Classy, John McGowan, Ed Milgram, a lot of the administrators, the higher up administrators, they're directly named in these documents. They're pretty fucked. I'm not going to lie. These guys are pretty screwed. And the question is, when they're deposed, when they're questioned, do they say, oh yeah, just Disney told me to do this? I don't think they have much incentive, Mike, not to just say that, to be like, well, yeah, Bob told me to say it. Bob told me to do this, or this was what I got from the higher ups. This is what I got from upper management, right? They told me to do this, so I just did it. They're the landowner, right? This is how we always did it. I don't see any reason why they would feel the need to protect Disney. I mean, look, Disney may act like the mafia, but they're not the actual mafia, right? They can't offer them that much in terms of protection, particularly when the people that did this, like Bob Iger, are currently in the middle of a proxy war. I think it benefits them to say, no, Bob did this, and Peltz is right? Everything Peltz says is right. I think this just helps the proxy war.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, that you've commented on and covered extensively has to do with it didn't help that the lawyers that maybe they were listening to on the CFTOD were actually the same attorneys that were sponsored by and selected by Disney.
Oh, I mean, that doesn't help at all.
There was no true independent counsel being provided to any of these board members, and none of them appear to have retained their own independent counsel in this entire process.
They literally breached our professional responsibility of not having competing interests, not having conflicting interests. You cannot be on both sides of a deal. That's very, very, very clear under our ethical rules. This is not like, it's not even a question of whether it's an ethical breach. It's just like, oh, do they disbar this guy? Or what do they do? They punish him? They suspend him? Like, I just want to know what the punishment is. This guy is going to get disciplined. He's got to get disciplined for this because this is egregious behavior for a lawyer. By the way, the bar can punish you even when something isn't criminal. It doesn't have to be a crime for a lawyer to be punished. If you have egregious behavior that violates our code of conduct, you can be punished. So yeah, especially regarding clients, that's where you have issues, and that's what we see here. Sean says a new charge should come from the SOG debacle, discrimination on the basis of veteran status by preventing them from enjoying the same as every other guest. Yeah, so there was a big issue here, Mike, with Shades of Green, the golf course, where they were literally blocking the disabled path.
I saw your chat. I saw your show on that.
It is so fun. I mean, these people, for all they virtue signal, and they end up with veterans screwing them over. It's really despicable. I mean, it frankly is disgusting that these people engage in this behavior, but yet they continue to virtue signal. Oh, we're so great. Oh, we love people so much, but they don't actually come through.
And let's be real. I mean, two things to that. One is that families of veterans don't often have a lot of the VIP resources to have the nicety experience. So any convenience that can be offered is not only humane, considerate, and respectful, but honorable. So when they don't do that, it's dishonorable. And the flip side is that, you should see the premium VIP experience and how you get treated. They literally damn near come and get you out of your hotel room. And if you damn near as well sneeze or have a cold, they send someone to get you Kleenex. And so that tells you, that, they're willing to treat our most hollowed veterans class as like a shitty class of people and give them no consideration. Yet if you pay enough money, they literally will treat you like a Disney princess, literally.
There you go. Speaking of treating like a princess, if you guys want to, define the real difference between a prince and a princess and feel that gender is not in fact a subjective thing, maybe you could smash the like button here today. We've got 1,251 people watching, an awesome audience, guys. So if you smash a like, it really helps us out there and helps us get this out here into the audience, into the air. Crash Jester says, globalists watch and weep. Alex Jones is free.
Serious?
Yes. Yeah. Elon Freedom on Twitter. He said the people voted and they said, bring back Alex. We want free speech, real free speech, not Disney free speech. And he's back.
Wow.
He's back.
Awesome.
Yeah. Tim Riggs says, I hope this also results in a broader discussion of the board of directors' nepotism and cronyism. Many board of directors share members pushing the same garbage at multiple companies. Yes. I hope that this investigation of the government bleeds over into the corporate sector and leads people to look at Disney as a whole as a crony. Like Bob Iger's Disney is a cult of personality of Bob Iger. And that's not healthy for an organization. It's not healthy for an organization to silence any dissenting voice like this is the CCP, right? That's not necessary to have ideological purges, right? The essentially Disney cultural revolutions. Yeah, that's not great for any corporation. And it doesn't make you into a better corporation for not allowing all voices to be heard within your organization. Adam Wolford said, the plan from Batman Returns, I have a better power plant. It was sucking power from Gotham. Hell, Night City from Cyberpunk 2027 actually got built. Yeah, look, this one, it's technically built, but it's never run. And from what the experts say, it's not actually capable of being run as an emergency generator, as they say it was. By the way, I didn't finish my thought. In the bond disclosures, Mike, so this plant produced zero power. In the bond disclosures, they said it produces something like 57,000 kilowatt hours of energy a year. So what we have there goes back to what you were saying, lying in the bond documents. That is a material fact you misstated, that you were misstating, that you misstated in a bond document. That's a huge violation.
It is, because these are municipal tax-free bonds, and you're essentially saying, "Hey, I promise, hey, government, in exchange for me, in exchange for you letting these bonds be tax-free, I'm going to do a municipal project, and here's the benefit I'm going to offer to the local community."
Right.
Okay, now I got my tax-free status, and I'm going to say, you know what? F what I told you before. Forget about it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. They're saying I'm not doing it. It's like,
Andrew, this is
no.
unbelievable. There are financial irregularities, which in my industry, you never want to hear those two words.
Yeah. Like literally when you say, and that's what I said, like these people are not just saying this is an irregularity. They're going beyond that, Mike. In audits, you just don't hear people say in an audit, this is potential bribery. People are like, well, they didn't say it is bribery. Well, yeah, because they haven't been convicted yet, dumbass. Right? They can't say it's bribery straight up because they haven't been convicted. They say this is the same as bribery. This is potential bribery. That's damning in an audit. For an auditor to say that and to put their credentials on the line to say this is fraud, this is bribery.
And something that you've said over and over
potentially,
again,
that's bad.
Something that you've said over and over again, I hope everybody picks up on is this. Normally what happens is you have allegations, charges, investigation, criminal matters. In this case, the investigation is front loaded. The facts and the receipts are front loaded. Now the other dominoes can fall.
Yes, exactly. Midnight Scientific Dog says, look at these sexy boys. Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate you and all of your simping. Love you and hope to be on later, on your show at some point. I know I'll get an invite and I will definitely show up. I read Special says Disney blocked auditors from inspecting IRS shady. That's a crime. Right. And they can go to a court, by the way, and get a court order to actually be able to go there and gain access. So I don't know why they did that. That is real bad. It's idiotic. They're probably trying to be like, oh, shit. What do we have to do?
For those playing at home, that now brings in what's called obstruction of justice when you deal with public municipalities.
Yes. So, yeah. And let's go here. So there goes. So they blocked the auditors. So you got an issue there. Thank you for the $10 super sticker, Leprechaun Gold. Appreciate you. Love you. And all the donators in the chat. Kaden says Disney is being sued for gender pay gap. Okay, guys, I know that is a separate stream. Okay. Listen, there's a reason people make fun of me, Mike. They say, Andrew, why do you only cover Disney lawsuits? Because there's so damn much going on that I don't have time to even cover just all the Disney lawsuits. Like they're being sued for gender pay gap now, right? So I'm going to have to cover that. And yes, we are going to cover that probably tomorrow or the next day.
Hashtag believe all women.
Hey, listen, if we have to hashtag believe all women, we got to believe them that there's a gender pay gap.
Hashtag.
I am all in support of hashtag Me Too against Disney. Because you know what? They were the ones supporting that. So they need to reap what they sow and pay those women what they truly deserve. A bit off topic, but California certified a class action lawsuit against Disney for pay equity violations against their female employees yesterday. So same type of comment. Guys, I will cover this tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, okay? So either if it's not tomorrow, it'll be the day after tomorrow. I need a little bit of time to read it, to go through all of it. Unlike some of these other things, which I'm really well-versed on, I can talk local government all day. I did it for a decade. I can't talk pay equity without reading the lawsuit. So I need to go read it. I'm going to do that. I'll get back to you guys. Read the article the other day titled Disney Cruise Stops at Little St. James now. Oh no. Charles H says, how long do you think it would take for legal actions to materialize? We're talking years? No, next year. We're going to see charges filed in 2024. Because at this point, it's going to be Florida going in 2024. Now, the feds, that really depends. It depends on a lot. I know that people are really black-pilled. They think Biden won't do anything. But from my experience, Mike, when you have things of this level from the SEC and IRS, they have to investigate. In my point, they can't not investigate. I don't know what you think about this, but from beyond that, though, Mike, I think even under Biden, if they allow flagrant violations to go, it'll encourage others to commit the crimes. Yeah. So I think they have to crack down. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are.
I agree with your assessment 100%. I know that there's maybe the perception out there that, because Bob's a woke leftist liberal,
right, Biden will protect him.
But that's not the case, because Iger does not have any friends right now or allies in politics, although he seems like hell for them. But tried to get in, they will leave him hanging out to dry in a heartbeat, because this is the type of thing that that if they allow to go unchecked, other corporations will do it. Now you're talking undermining the tax code, you're talking undermining the SEC, you're talking undermining. It's a little bit too radioactive in terms of the financial markets, in my opinion. And the other issue too that you have is that you have the independent accounting industry, which essentially you'll fuck that up completely, because literally if this is allowed to go and stick, then you'll have other corporations doing it, and then the accounting firms that supposedly sign up on their statements, which allows their stock to be traded, which allows their bonds to be issued. Now you're going to have a bigger problem. It would be allowing Enron to go unchecked, or any of the other major.
Right.
No one was there when Arthur Anderson fell. No one said that was too big to fail. This is, and I understand people think that you got too big to fail. Well, there isn't necessarily too big to convict, at least in the case of corporate governance. This isn't a Hunter Biden laptop story. This is something very different than Hunter Biden's laptop.
Right. It's not something where you've got you're going to be able to suppress this, or you're going to be able to hide this. It's not something you're going to be able to scuttle. This is going to get out there. And the other thing too is, because of sunshine laws, this is all public stuff, guys. This is not something they're going to be able to put away or silence. It's already out there. We've already got the documents. We've already got the video. This stuff cannot be buried in the same way it was buried in these other instances when it's within a private corporation. This is involving a government. This is where they fucked up. This is why I said they fucked up, because it was a government. It's not like it can be buried in a boardroom, right? It's not like it can be buried in a corporate back room. Because of sunshine laws in Florida, which has extremely strong sunshine laws, all these things are going to be exposed.
Yes, Florida is one of the few states that not only has no personal income tax, but it has these super strong sunshine laws, where essentially anything and everything you can want to find out about somebody or some corporation is available to the public, and that is not true in the vast majority of states around the country.
Thank God for Florida.
Very few corporations have as their base of operations, their corporate headquarters, and certainly their legal home state status as Florida, for that very reason.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, make sure to smash the like button on all your platforms. Going to read some Rumble rants right now. Shout out to my homies on Rumble. First one from Occupant 42, which says, will they go after the former RCID board members first, or will Florida prosecute everyone together all at the same time? Whoever they're going to prosecute, they're going to file charges against everybody at the same time. They're not going to go one after another. However, as they go after the first batch, that may open it up to other people. So what I'm saying is that you may have, for example, you may have people ratting on Iger, right? People ratting on other people within Disney as they go through this process, and they actually say, look, we're pressing charges against John Classy. And John Classy says, well, this came from Iger, or this came from the CFO, or whoever told him to do it, right? As we go through this, more people will be brought in, but initially they're going to come after everyone they can come after at first. They're not just going to come after one by one by one. It's going to be a large cohort, and then they're going to be people that are added on to that. We could have some bombshell testimony where we have even at trial people saying, well, Bob told me to do it, right? I mean, this is real, guys. This is not something that I'm making up. You can have people saying, no, we were in a meeting and, Iger said, doesn't matter. He said, it's all Disney anyways. And once again, then you have a deposition of Bob Iger. And then you have a potential RICO case against Bob Iger. So it's not pixie dust. This is not made up. This is absolutely possible. Next here, we've got Bo Nielsen, who says wind power. When it's windy, the price of electricity goes down. They don't earn any money. When it's not windy, prices go up, but they don't produce anything. Hashtag mind blown. Yeah, and obviously the same thing, like similar for any natural resource where you're having a natural resource that is available sometimes, but not other times. So yeah, absolutely. And they were saying in the chat that it's a scam in the Scandies in Scandinavia where they have some windmills that aren't producing and they're really not producing what they said they're producing. And that's the case for a lot of these green initiatives and green plants is they're not as economical as they claim they are, right? They claim they're super economical and they're not. Occupant 42 says, looks like Elon was a little late with his FGYS comment, which is, I think, the go fuck yourself comment. Bob already had fucked himself and Disney. Yes, he indeed had screwed himself through picking this fight with RCID. And like Mike, I said a year ago, this is a self-inflicted wound. He didn't have to bring this up at all. It would have been known by people like myself. But frankly, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I would have never thought to bring up this issue unless Disney started this fight, right? As soon as Disney started this fight, I'm like, oh, well, you guys have no idea how deep this well goes. I know this, right? I'm telling you right now, this is an issue for Disney. It wouldn't have been an issue if they just shut up. But they couldn't do that. They can't even do that. That's how bad they are right now. Thank you, Marcus Squintus and David, for becoming BLM members. Thank you so much. Appreciate you both. Appreciate all the new members here today. You guys are absolute OGs. And then Marcus Quintus follows up with an immediate member chat saying, I wish I could be there at Walt Disney World headquarters when the man shows up with the subpoenas or hopefully warrants. I hope Rico Suava is on repeat in the C-suite elevators. That will be absolutely great. Oriole Beagle says actions speak louder than words. Absolutely. 100%. And then Tim Riggs lastly says, my experience watching feds over the years, if there is a solid chance at career advancement within the agency or public sentiment is against the company, the politics don't matter. Boom. Public sentiment is against Disney because, Mike, they screwed up with those strikes. Bob Iger went out and he made fun of the strikers. He attacked them. He pretty much called them plebs. I mean, he was not very good with that. And the woke weren't really happy with that. The left wasn't really happy with that. I don't see them having any special reason to protect them. And then beyond that, like you said, they have a chance to advance on the corpse of this company. Why not get in there and bust this company up?
If you look at Bob Iger's return since November 9th or 10th or whatever date it was last year, and you look at what's happened he's pissed off major investors, Nelson Peltz. He's pissed off major people in Hollywood. He's thrown Hollywood directors. He threw Feige and his, Marvel's director under the bus. Striking people aren't happy with him. I mean, people in the state of Florida aren't happy with Disney for a variety of reasons. He's really really going down a delusional path of loss of support. And I call it delusional because in his mind, he's still riding that high of a lifetime. And he's still this amazing 2-shower-a-day Bob. But he's not. And he's not behaving as such. This is a guy who literally, if you looked at that interview, the interview that he did, the one where Elon Musk told him to go F himself, Bob was defensive. He's like a kid who had to turn in his who had to present his report to his professor and did stayed up all night and partied and is just babbling his way through it.
Yeah. And that's not going to work, right? That's not going to fly. I just want to show. So we're going to go through. I want to go through a couple of these exhibits with you, Mike, because some of these are pretty egregious. And I want you to kind of see them, because a lot of people think we're just making this stuff up. A lot of people say, oh, Andrew, you're just saying this stuff. It doesn't actually exist. So let's go through like number 8 here. This is number 8. It's from Rosalind, right? So this is Rosalind. And mind you, this is in 2023, right? So this is not something that happened decades ago, not something that happens years ago. Something that happened in 2023. I am Rosalind, right? So good morning, Rosalind. Sorry. I am the Director of Facilities at Reedy Creek, aka the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, working closely with someone managing the garages at the Springs. Full stop. Mike, did you know that those garages were funded by bond funds? Did you know that?
Why would that? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, you didn't know that the orange, the lime, and the grapefruit garage were funded by $70 million in public bond funds. Did you know that?
No, and I would not expect that to be the case, because that would be like municipal bonds funding, I don't know, my backyard pool.
Yeah, exactly. Because who else benefits from the Disney Springs parking lot other than can someone just roll up and park in there and be like, hey, I'm gonna go hit the Hilton, right? I'm gonna go stay in the Hilton. Can I leave my car here? You can't do that, right? That's not a thing. They don't offer it's no benefit to anybody but Disney, but yet Disney had everybody paying for it. Mike, the other taxpayers paid $10 million of that $70 million towards the orange, lime, and grapefruit garage.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious, and it's a serious securities issue. It's a serious bond issue.
Ironman improvement utility district around my place here on Hilton Head.
You're gonna have like a tree. You're gonna have like a water park in your backyard.
Yeah, I need a water park, and then I need like a special walkway to get over to my new boat dock we're gonna build.
Right. Which you're gonna give no access to anybody but you.
No,
right.
And definitely not any veterans for sure.
Right. No veterans. Not allowed veterans. Go back to serving your country. Right. Okay. And by the way, shout out to the veterans. My next charity stream, my last charity stream, we made $8,000 for veterans.
Wow.
Charities. My next stream, I'm aiming for 10. I want to raise $10,000 for veterans. So that's my next one. I don't know the date yet, guys. It's going to come up probably in or around, I hope before Christmas, but if not, it'll be around Christmas time. It'll be for veterans. We're aiming for 10K next time. So I really was glad that you guys were really giving in the last charity stream. So, when you really want to support veterans, you can come over to my channel and we'll actually contribute to veterans charities. Gon Shoji says for 437 says, when reality finally sets in for these muddy pidgeys, they will probably self-control, alt-delete. They never imagined they would actually get caught. No, these emails, and we're going to show more of them here, they're pure hubris. So let's just go back to this real quick here. So this one says, you may not be the right individual to contact, but I'm trying to reach out to someone at your level to see if you can help. RCID employees currently receive main gate passes as a benefit. There is currently no plan to terminate the benefit, but I have a concern the new board may consider it. They did it eventually, but not at this meeting. They did it way after. This was sent in March. They did it later when they quickly determined it was illegal. Okay, so I would like to purchase passes, but the only pass currently available is the Pixie Dust pass. Even though, by the way, Mike, I love it's the Pixie Dust pass. I mean, that just, I'm sorry. The fact they have a Pixie Dust pass, like, is this like they're making fun of themselves? They know that's what they're snorting. Even though other passes are not available to the general public, do you know if we would be able to purchase passes or if the sale of other passes is going to resume? I appreciate any assistance you provide. Thank you for your time. Have a nice weekend. So they were accustomed to, clearly based on those emails, they were accustomed to buying other passes, Disney passes that were not available to the public. So employee only passes.
Of course they would.
Right. And once again, in many cases, right, allowing access to this, allowing them a benefit that nobody else has, that is indeed bribery. And then when you couple that with what we have here, which is the fact that Reedy Creek was actually paying for them. This is the fiscal year 2019. You can see right now how much they were paying for annual passes, right?
Oh, let's
Yeah.
go shopping.
Yeah, let's go let's go. Yeah, let's go shopping here, right? Millions
Because I'm special.
of dollars. An average of in 2018, 3,600, 2019, 3,900, 2020, 4,400, and 2021, 4,400 per employee in these benefits, right? So crazy, absolutely crazy. By the way, they spent a lot of extra money. It was growing over the year because of increasing growth of pricing in Art and Reedy Creek VIP employees. So those upper management were going to the VIP events, they were getting VIP passes, and they were putting them on the Reedy Creek, but they're putting them on the Reedy Creek credit cards. It is absolutely nuts. But it gets worse, guys. It gets worse. The cruise line emails are just damning. So here's an email chain about the Disney Cruise Line. So let me show you this here real quick. So this is an RCID address. This is a public government employee emailing about cruise line benefits. Okay. So it says, "Hi, I was on the district site looking at our cruise line benefits. It says we are now operating participants, which is contrary to what you had back in October." This is in 2016, right? "You sent me an email stating that we do get 3 rooms, that the representative was going to call over and straighten this out. I hope this doesn't change and we are still considered cast members." Okay. Right there, you have an admission that in the past they were considered cast members.
Whoa.
And that, yeah.
Whoa.
In a email, this is a public email, guys. "I have taken 11 cruises, 11, and was able to enjoy this benefit with my parents and in-laws. I love this benefit and would hate to see it taken away." They responded, "Yes, we do get 3 rooms and our representative is going to call over." I like this creepy tagline. You see this? One district, one goal, excellence for one Disney, you know? Do we get a call back? Okay, here we go. Okay, "I just got off the phone with the cruise line. I was able to book the 3rd cabin. Hurrah. I still think we should follow up with Disney to get us moving to the Disney World list, the cruise department." So they're trying to get moved onto the employee-only list. "At a minimum, it would be nice to have a contact person who's familiar with our relationship with Disney and able to get our benefit status as it relates to friends and family." So not even employees. They're giving these out to friends and freaking family. "They asked me to clear up who had approved this in the past and give a name to a cruise consultant to clear up confusion. Please extend my appreciation to the world consultant for this benefit. It's fantastic privilege." Okay.
I have a question, sir.
Yes. What's your question?
Let's just say I'm on the Reedy Creek Improvement District Board. I mean, maybe this is a dumb question, but even if I bought into the argument that I need passes to go and, I don't know, better oversee the district that's in the district that I'm overseeing, why do I need to go on a cruise? Why do I need special benefits to go on a cruise? How does going on a Disney cruise, what does that have anything to do with my oversight as an employee or as being on the board of this improvement district? Or because of course, they might, Reedy Creek is allowed to annex areas outside the district. So what they might annex is Reedy Creek might annex Castaway Cay. I know it's in a different country. I know it's in the Bahamas, but they might annex them. I think the most egregious thing is that we're considered cast members. You're the employee of an independent tax agency that's supposed to be providing oversight to a tax district, and somehow that makes you an employee entitled to the benefits therein. What the?
Yeah. And even worse here. So we actually have an actual smoking gun here for a second. So let me pull this up.
I hadn't read these emails. Jesus, I think I'm gonna puke.
Dude, these are damning, Mike. Look at this one right.
I'm literally, the coffee in my belly, my cappuccino is literally, I think.
Look at this right here. Look at this right here. So I heard back from our contact at Disney. We do get the discount. In fact, 4 people have booked in the past few weeks. Let me zoom out a little bit. We are not Disney employees and won't be listed as such due to Sunshine State laws and the fact that we are technically operating participants, but we do get the discount. We're not listing it because of the law.
Wow.
Does that not raise a fucking red flag to anybody right now? We can't list it because of law. Oh, but we're sending a public email. These guys didn't even think their emails were public. They didn't realize their emails are public. They created a record chain here and they thought this was Disney internal email. This is the sheer hubris of these people. Scott Westbrook sent 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. I know it's painful. I know.
As someone with audit experience, of course.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you saw a corporate email? It's like, hey, Mike, we know that this isn't allowed under the SEC regulations, but we are allowed to insider trade. Like we do insider trade. That's like pretty much the equivalent in the corporate world, like someone admitting to insider trading or something similar. That's
here's
illegal.
Right? Even more. They could have picked up the phone and hey, look on the download. No, I'm gonna send an email. Freaking idiot.
Yeah, I'm gonna send an email. Oh man.
Hey, what we're doing is against the law, but you know what? We're gonna get to do it anyways. We're just not gonna put it on the website. All good. Continue on. Yeah. Nothing to see here, Andrew. Nothing to see here.
No, not at all. No, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here at all. It's totally normal. This is all completely normal behavior for a fucking government, right? It's absolutely nuts. I do want to give a little bit of a correction here because somebody sent in a super chat, and I want to actually give a correction because I was actually wrong here, guys. So according to Is This Live, I actually made a mistake. From the audit, the cost of the garages wasn't 70 million. It was 700 million. Page 49, item G.
I clearly, definitely now need my own improvement district here on Hilton Head Island because if Bobby gets 700 million for a garage, Mikey can get his pool redone and a new boat dock.
I'm sorry. It was almost $1 billion. Mike, $1 billion in government bonds that they committed fraud on, according to the audit. God, do you understand what Disney misuses almost $1 billion in bonds? By the way, in the aggregate, it's going to be over $1 billion because they brought out more than $1 billion in bonds. Nuts. Oh God, it's like, guys,
look, I see this.
I keep thinking there's a bottom to this, Mike, and like the bottom keeps going deep. It's not. Achilles Bear says, "Can you possibly incriminate yourself anymore?" I don't know.
I'm gonna calculate the tax on that 700 million. Hold on, keep going. Hold on.
Yeah, keep going. Okay, thank you, Darius, for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Mario Trujillo says, I thought my old boss, who just listed a 2-door convertible as a delivery vehicle on his tax returns, had balls. This is cartoonishly evil. It's cartoonishly evil, but it's like the stupid evil villain, right? The guy who's like, it's like Dr. Evil when he goes forward in time, when he's unfrozen, he's like, we will ask them for $1 million. Like Dr. Evil, that's not that much money. It's like, oh my God. 9.8
that assumes a tax rate of 25 to 28%, adjusted for the yield of the bond per year.
Disney will owe $9.8 million per year on those bonds. Let's just think about that real. Is Disney
that's probably the worst it could be. It could be less, but highly likely to be more. But you take that number and just multiply it by what's the average bond issuance?
And Mike, that's without penalties. That's just literally
that's no penalties, no interest. That's no penalties, no interest.
Repaying the bond.
Oh God!
Like it's nuts. It's nuts here, man. It's just absolutely nuts. Adam Walford says, also remember the corpos have no loyalty. So when the water starts getting hot, those rats' daggers will come out and never touch the corpo like some of Mexican Iron Man's axes. That's why he is always jumping out of windows.
Hey, don't judge my life choices there, Adam Wolford. You stop that right now.
Listen, no judgment coming from this side of the Pacific. I'll tell you that. But that being said, look, you're absolutely right about the corpos. I don't think any of these people have any, especially the upper management. They've got no loyalty to Disney. What are they going to hold on so they get an extra cupcake? No, they've got way more at stake. These people have significant lives. These people are people of means. They're of status in their respective communities. And you think they're going to be torn out to be thrown in a federal jail? No, not for Disney, not for a cupcake, not for a fucking iPhone cover, right? They will turn on Disney.
If I were Bob Chapek, I would be sitting back having a pina colada in the Caribbean going, oh, you fuckers fired me for this motherfucker? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
good job.
Mike, somebody asked me this, and you're not a lawyer, right? But you know the answer to this. Somebody asked me, is an NDA going to protect Bob Chapek because they have an NDA with him, right? Disney has an NDA. Is that going to protect him from being questioned for financial crime?
No, in the accounting and the legal world, the standard is the same. There is, in fact, even here's the other thing that's a fun fact. You know how you attorneys have legal protection?
Yes.
That was stripped away by the IRS in a court case a couple decades ago for all the accountants. So literally, they can't even be shielded by their own accountants and auditors. We don't have the same level of standard. And in particular, in NDAs, whenever there's incidents of financial fraud, those are not protected by NDAs in any way, shape, or form.
Yep. So no NDA is going to protect these guys. So Bob Chapek can come out and say whatever he wants about crimes, right? So if there's any crime that's committed, Disney can hear from Chapek, right? So all of this Iger shit talking Chapek, that was really short-sighted. That was extremely short-sighted. Because now Chapek gets free reign to say whatever he wants to say.
It leads you to believe, when I see someone doing that, and this is just a matter of just human behavior, when I see someone shit-talking someone else like that in an executive standing, he has no reason to do such, except and unless he thinks that he's trying to destroy Chapek's credibility because of something Chapek might know. My view, and I have nothing to substantiate this, but when I see that type of behavior, because I've seen it when I've done audits, because we would interview all the boards of directors, we would interview all the officers, and whenever someone voluntarily on their own starts crap talking someone else, in almost every case, there would be some basis to that criticism, and usually the person making the criticism first was guilty of something that was hoping to deflect and push away the credibility of someone that might know whatever it is that hadn't been uncovered yet.
I want to bring up a quick comments from Clay, who knows a lot about corporate bonds as well. So he brought up something on locals, just really quick. He's saying that when you have willful ignorance, it negates the tax-free bonds. So anyone holding the bonds will they'll be able to sue, right? They'll be able to have bondholder suits, which will go into the billions because there'll be legal fees tacked onto that. So it's absolutely true. Cute Nerd for $4.99 says, will each person that used the benefits get prosecuted? Will they at least be questioned? Will their family? Okay, guys, they are not going to go after the line employee, the janitor who used his. No. That's not the issue here. It's the upper management, possibly the middle management, that knowingly perpetuated this, knowing it was not permissible. So the district administrator, the lawyer, the engineer, the heads of the district, the financial advisors to the district, any lawyers that were for Disney or otherwise that were double advising, all those people are really on the line. So the upper management of the district, including, by the way, the board members, are going to be suspect because all the board members had their taxes paid for. So, Mike, we talk about those double wides, right?
Yep.
And the land. Guess what Disney was doing? They leased the land to them. So they leased the land to those people to own, and Disney was paying for their property taxes on that land.
I read that. That's insane. That is so,
it's a direct evidence of corruption.
That is direct bribery. You can't get any more direct than that. That is literally, hey, I need you to go do this, and while you're doing that, I'm going to give you this.
Yep.
Okay, done.
Yep. Done. But look, is the like I said, is the janitor?
Here's the worst part. Here's the worst part. Here's the even funnier part.
Yeah.
You know what I would do as an auditor? What I would do is I would go and subpoena the county tax records that showed the proof of the payment and where it came from on that county taxes that were paid for the property. Boom, done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, is the janitor, the landscapers, Mexican Iron Man's, rabbit chicken landscape service? No, they're not going to get prosecuted, right?
No.
It's the people that knew and did it anyways. Those people are definitely going to get in trouble here. Some Rumble rants, which actually asked some really good questions. You guys on Rumble are really, really clever. I should do DJ Folds for 5 says, how vulnerable is Christine McCarthy? How many skeletons do we know she had access to? I mean, I'm sure she knew something as CFO, right? And for her tenure, and Mike, I forget, how long was Christine McCarthy in there? Well, how long was her tenure? Was it 5 years, 10 years? I don't know.
It's like, hold on, I'll look it up. It was a long time.
Yeah, if you can look it up for me. But obviously, look, financial crimes, the way they work is they're ongoing violations, right? But that's certainly within the ability to bring them for Christine McCarthy. She got fired relatively recently. So certainly some of the charges and cause of action came under her watch, under her reign. So she's definitely exposed. Right now, I can't tell you exactly how many charges will be brought against her, but she has potential criminal and civil liability. So that's absolutely true. Irate Specialist says, how many years in prison would they give for just the parking garage? Let me put it this way, Irate. What people are not thinking is you can have multiple counts against individuals for this. So they could have multiple security counts against them. They could easily put somebody away for the parking garages for 60, 70, 80 years if they bring multiple counts against them, right? It's very, very possible because each disclosure that they lied about is a separate count, okay? So each material mistake they made, a material disclosure that was incorrect, that was a false disclosure, that's a separate count. So go ahead, Mike. 2015. Okay. So she had a good amount of time there under this regime. And we've seen many of these emails are flying around 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, all the way up to 2023. So Christine McCarthy is certainly exposed. JR Girl says, what is the crime? Well, in terms of the parking garages, that is actually securities. There's a lot of security
check
stuff
this
there.
out. She was actually treasurer on the board since 2001.
Oh yeah, she's got massive amounts of potential liability there. Yeah, so she's got a lot of liability as treasurer for back to 2001. So, and once again, for Christine, she might be, if she's Disney side, might be brought in on RICO, because the thing is with RICO is this looks like a criminal enterprise. To me, Mike, this actually looks like a criminal enterprise defrauding the public, siphoning funds from public coffers to subsidize Disney. So to me, they can prosecute this like a RICO case against Disney. I'm not making this up. In each state, by the way, there's federal RICO and there's state RICO. So Florida can bring a state RICO case against Disney. And I don't think Ron DeSantis has any problem bringing that case. They don't need the feds for this. They can bring this for corruption of state public officials alone, just the bribery. But then you have misuse of public funds. You have all these other things they're going to bring in. You have things regarding the securities. There's securities crimes at the state level. There's tons here, guys. Sean says, as a veteran, thank you for your support, Andrew. Here's some money from your favorite lady boy. I bet she is pretty. Yes, absolutely. They're not those questionable ones over there. They're absolutely on point. I'm just kidding. I'm not into that. However, no judgment. Current event nerd says, will PwC, Disney's auditor, also face potential legal hot water? Mexican Iron Man, you are a big fan of PricewaterhouseCoopers. So what do you have to say about PwC in this? I know you've got a monkey on your shoulder about PwC and what they should have been doing here.
Yeah. Let me bring up a couple of things. I'm going to try to keep it calm. No, I can't keep it calm. So PricewaterhouseCoopers, for those playing at home, has been the audit firm, the independent quote, sparkly, audit firm of record for Disney since, guess when, Andrew? Guess what year?
1920s?
1934.
1934.
Almost since the inception. of this company. Guess how many, and the way it works, for those playing at home, the way independent audit firms generally work in corporate finance is every 3 to 6 years, sometimes 7 or 8, but every Fortune 500 company usually puts out to bid out in the marketplace to one of the previously big 10, that it was a big 8, now it's the big 4, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, and KPMG. And every so often you rotate another one in, they come in and do an audit. Guess how many times since 1934, Andrew, PwC has not signed off on the financials for Disney and all of its related entities?
I wonder. Probably zero. Probably zero.
That would be correct. And Andrew, if we did have some other attorneys coming in, don't you think that it might make sense to rotate other people in to find some skeletons in the closet?
Yeah, a little bit. Like maybe PwC should have done a little bit more of due diligence. Maybe just a bit more.
I think so.
Yeah.
So PwC has signed off on this stuff for literally forever. Now, in terms of liability, there potentially is liability for PricewaterhouseCoopers, because there was also, let's keep in mind, there was another firm called Arthur Andersen that covered for, guess who? Enron.
Ooh.
Do we remember that?
Yeah.
So normally what happens, and this is a big joke of my industry, the big 4 accounting firms are a freaking joke. They are a joke. There's a running joke in our industry that says you get the best audit you're willing to pay for.
Yeah. And they're not, and they just did not pay anybody else but PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Right.
And because
in fact, let me tell you how close the relationship is. I'm going to bring something up on my screen. You might ask the question, well, how close is the relationship between Disney and PwC? Well, Andrew, good news. PricewaterhouseCoopers, if you share my screen real quick.
Sure. Go ahead.
PricewaterhouseCoopers has a special internship program. So if you are in college and you've gotten a job offer to eventually work at PricewaterhouseCoopers, guess what, Andrew? There's a special Disney trip that happens for you. So you can go on the PricewaterhouseCoopers Disney trip in Orlando. Now,
could that compromise their impartiality as a auditing firm? Is there any
later when they're in their 20s and 30s and they're supposed to find malfeasance and issues of fraud? Oh, Andrew, of course not. You stop that. We need to take the interns and future employees of PricewaterhouseCoopers, the independent accounting firm, to Disney World so that they can better learn how to, write the financials, Andrew.
Right. So they're going to be like, I remember when Disney let me ride on Guardians of the Galaxy. Therefore, let's not, oh my God, they're literally sitting there at oh my gosh. This is a big accounting experience, right? Big accounting experience.
I'm going to put the link in your chat here. I'm going to send you the thing right now.
Okay, just send that on over.
So that you can, you're going to love this. We actually have a video blog of the internship experience. Let me send it to you in the private chat.
I absolutely love it here. I absolutely love it. Yeah, send in the private chat. I'll open.
You're gonna love this. So this is we get to see some of the future independent auditors.
Totally independent auditors here, like totally 100% independent. Let's make sure they don't use. Hopefully, they don't use any copyrighted music. Let's see right here. Hold on. We'll just play a couple seconds. Right. Strike me, I dare you, bro.
Yeah, go ahead and fast forward a little bit. Wait till it gets to hold on, keep going.
Should I have him right here? Day one here. Okay, let's look.
Yeah, I am the Johnson family. Okay. I'm starting this vlog late because why not?
Okay.
Say, man,
really
hey, man, I'm back. I'm trying to.
It gets better. It gets better.
Really professional. Really professional.
Another day, another vlog. Money Mari. Y'all know how I give this vlog.
Okay. Wow.
There's your future Disney auditor.
Yeah. Start PwC National Internship Training. Y'all know how I get. It's a big money summer.
Okay, this is a very professional. I think he is a very professional auditor. I think he has a bright professional future. Y'all know,
Right?
y'all know how I get.
I want to take all the heat off of you, Andre. Andrew, I'm the one that
I'm Andre now. I'm Andre now.
No, I found this video. And I'm
You found the
this up.
video.
So any and all heat for this live stream, all heat should be directed to Mexican Iron Man because I'm bringing the heat. Now keep going. Go
Okay. You rose the fucking minute in.
Hold on.
Let me fast forward a little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit kind of cute.
This is how you wine and dine.
This is
how you wine and dine.
Oh, not even hiding it. Diversity. Hold on. It's a diversity internship experience. Now, hold on. You didn't catch that one, Mexican Iron Man. Didn't catch that one. Oh, man.
They got us in the club, y'all.
They got us in the club.
And they got food.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah. Look at you. You need a bigger shirt.
Wow. Let me fast forward a little bit.
Keep
here.
skipping around. You don't have to watch this. Just
I don't want to watch him without a shirt here, but let's get to some other stuff here. Let's see what they got. I think I'm going on inside of Disney, right? Because they probably rumble around Disney.
Right there. Go back. That's your welcome from the. Okay, go there.
Oh, hold on. I gotta get a little further back because this is gonna be good. Okay, let me play this. This is gonna be good.
You're wilding, gang. The glasses.
This is.
It is me, your fairy godmother, because we want to celebrate you in the biggest, best of ways by sending you tonight to the most magical place on earth.
Yeah! I told y'all we was going to Disney World. Yeah, we outside. Yeah, you talking about? Yeah. Quit playing. Kari.
Okay, so they sent him to Disney World, and this is what you're doing on your 3-day totally intensive. This is totally like what you want with like professional training.
Now it could be a college.
I'm gonna go find the castle, then I'm gonna hit y'all back for sure. Hey, y'all dab me up? No? Y'all don't shake hands? That's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna stop that before we get struck by Disney.
No,
but that being said,
a 3-day internship in college.
that was a PwC, right? Accounting internship.
Now, it could have been 3 days of learning how to identify fraud, looking at financial statements, going and seeing a business unit, how it functions, and how that reporting system turns into the financial statements and how you audit. No, we're going to get greeted by the fairy godmother. We're going to get a personalized welcome in our hotel room. We're going to get all you can eat fancy pants buffets. And then we're
the Mickey pretzel. Did you see that Mickey pretzel though? Yeah,
so there right there are your future auditors of your Disney financial statement in their internship program years before they become the independent auditors. Good job.
Right, and I will put this link. So I for guys that following out there, I will put this link in the chat for those that want to watch all of this absolute train wreck of an auditing internship. That's in the chat right now. That link is there, so you guys can go watch how professional they are. Once again, are they promoting an environment that is conducive to having an independent audit?
A rigor, are they promoting?
I'll leave this question for you. Here. Peter Wenger, PwC can be brought down. Mexican Iron Man.
PwC has a lot of big name clients. Unlike Arthur Andersen, where Enron was its largest client, this will not bring down PwC, but it could cost them a shitload of money and fines.
Hold on. But could their PwC people be deposed? Could they have legal fees?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fines is definitely on the table, right?
Fines anywhere from, I would project between 10 and 100 million, maybe more. But
yeah, they're not gonna go. I'm with you on this. I don't think it's gonna bankrupt PwC, but it will definitely be a giant shit stain on their reputation, right? I mean, without a doubt. I mean, that's a huge cloud on your ability to provide an independent audit. Yeah. Sim Rig says, I see this as more, this is how we indoctrinate.
This is how we indoctrinate. Boom, boom, boom.
Gon Shoji says, that still of the vomiting seagull sums it up perfectly. There was a still of the seagull. The seagull was vomiting. It is perfect. Pam has thoughts, says PwC auditors sure had a better training than the rest of us, fellow CPA. We had an annual training in Orlando and always stayed at the Swan and Dolphin. At least I can truly say I was independent. Well, yeah, at least, look, if you're there as a conference that's not related to that, right? You're not like the Disney auditor. Yeah, you can stay there and go and have a good time. The problem is when you're the Disney auditor, right? When you're the company that is sent to check on Disney to make sure they're doing it right, you're going to remember, oh yeah, Disney's obviously doing it right. I mean, they're so nice, right? They're so kind to us. They give us all this good stuff, this cool swag, right? We wilding up in there, up in the club, the Disney club. It's just live since 20 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate the membership squad. It's just live coming up big today. Thank you to everybody who's been giving memberships today. You guys are the real Chats and Stacy's out there, and absolutely going to help us bring truth to this incident, bring truth about Reedy Creek, and bring truth to the Walt Disney Corporation after far too long. Speaking of truth, if you guys like this, smash the like button right now. Make sure you just like the video. It's all I ask. Memberships are awesome. Liking is awesome too. Thank you for doing that, guys. Next, let me show you some things. Now, I mentioned some of these when we talked about them, but I want to show them to you, Mike, because this to me was just nuts. So we have right here, this is an email from Eileen Ferguson at Disney.com, right? Who would use the email of I think it was rcid.broker at Disney.com. Literally, a Disney employee is confirming the trade of municipal bonds to BP via email. So they're swapping RCID municipal bonds. See right here, notice of BP trade confirmation, Reedy Creek Improvement District. They're serving as a broker, and look at here, RCID broker, rcid.broker at Disney.com, is serving as a broker of Reedy Creek's municipal bonds.
How is Disney an independent broker of financial securities?
Right. Is Eileen properly qualified for that? I'm pressing X to doubt. I'm pressing strong X to doubt. But just setting up this email alone, RCID broker at Disney.com, that alone is like prima facie evidence of a misrepresentation.
Oh my God. That means that email address probably has other trades, not just this one.
Oh, absolutely. Because guess what? Guess what? We've got this trade, and this is just recent trades, Mexican Army. This isn't even ones that are going back in time. We've got yet another one here with JP Morgan.
You know what we call that in the accounting world? Self-dealing.
Yeah. It's absolutely self-dealing. It's 100% self-dealing. But yeah, right here we have JP Morgan, same thing, Eileen Ferguson, right? Operating the same grift, right? With this dealing to JP Morgan, selling securities of Reedy Creek. This is a huge violation from a bond standpoint. You have to be, just like if you're dealing with complex securities, right? You have to be certified. You have to be approved. You can't just have any Joe up.
Yeah, you have FINRA.
You're selling them.
There's
go ahead.
FINRA oversight from the financial. You can't just be an employee working for somebody executing trades. You got to be licensed, bonded, insured.
There's a lot of stuff you got to get there. So to me, it just piles up, and it's like, how can you be this stupid? And I get a lot of from a lot of the other exhibits, and we won't go through all of them, but I want to just pull up like one, for example, here, so you guys see the type of stuff I look at. So this example here, right? So you have this right here, and this is Exhibit 9, which is a table of contents. This is the employee manual. And what they did was they went and they red highlighted these sections. Now, I think they may not have intended to put this out here like this because they clearly made these edits. But what this shows is that the red highlight shows the sections they're probably going to push when it comes to filing criminal charges. What are they looking at? Computer usage, mobile phones, emails, internet use. All of these things are potential misuse of public resources, misuse of public funds, and misuse of communications. And also, all of these are communications. All communications are subject to sunshine law. And you know where they may have screwed up, Mike? They may have actually, because all text messages, all government text messages can be subject to sunshine law. So here's what we have, Mike. You may have people that have their cell phones that can be fully audited. And I think right now they're probably resisting that, but these people are probably holding cell phones that have nasty receipts in them. They're coming for that. They're coming for those text messages, which I guarantee you, people never think that your text messages are subject to public record request, but they are. Yeah. Every single text message, every single email, every single document sent by district resources is subject to it. This is why I say big crimes are coming. They've just been building it up. And by the way, someone said delete, delete, delete. Doesn't matter. They can pull the records. Okay. So they're going to be able to get those records from those devices.
Yeah,
so,
1 cent. What yeah. 1 cent that's always sent.
Yeah, so it is absolutely
if you
damning
look at what they were willing to write in an email. Imagine what they have in text.
Oh yeah. Oh, and we haven't even seen the text messages yet, guys. We've seen 0 text messages, but yet we see that they're subject to record requests. So this is going to be an insane thing. I'm waiting for those receipts to come out because I guarantee you they've said some stuff that's absolutely nuts. Like I guarantee you they've said some stuff that's crazy. Just me for $9.99 says, I'm looking forward to Mexican Iron Man videos interviewing Price Waterhouse partners while they're doing their community service, mowing lawns in orange jumpsuits.
That would be awesome. I'd be out there in the field. I'd be out there.
Yeah.
We're here with Bruce Bartholomew III, former internal auditor of PwC. Mr. Bartholomew, how are those roses growing?
It's not going well for Mr. Bartholomew. I'll tell you that. Real quick over here on Rumble to catch you guys over here on Rumble. Navier Stokes says Chapek was in charge of the parks for many years. What is his liability for the bond fraud, etc.? I don't know how much Chapek knew or didn't know. I honestly think Chapek is well suited to a plea deal. I think he's very well suited if he turns state's evidence. I am definitely think he's in a pole position for that. So is he liable? He could be. I don't want to say what I know about Chapek yet because we don't know that yet. I'm just speculating in how deep the rabbit hole goes, or rather the rat hole goes. And I think it's pretty deep. And I do think the people at the top did indeed know. Are there any statute of limitations for any of this? RCID was paid by Disney until the 90s. Look, guys, this
Florida, as a matter of state law, Florida has no statute of limitations on fraud.
Boom, right there, right? Yeah. So some of these crimes have no statute of limitations. Other ones there are, but here's the thing about a lot of financial crimes. Because they're ongoing crimes, they're allowed to attach for the SOL to the last year in which they committed crime, frauds, whatever, which was literally this year.
Yeah, you convict on the most recent stuff, but you use the historical stuff to enter it into evidence, from what I'm told. Yes,
that's my understanding as well.
That's my understanding is secondhand understanding from a buddy of mine that used to be a client of mine that used to be a criminal defense attorney.
My understanding is exactly the same way. So you're going to be able to enter it. You're going to say, okay, we're going to charge the SOL based on what happened in 2023, but we've got historical evidence going back to the 50s. Guys, you cannot get a more perfect slam dunk case than that. It's just not possible. It's literally not possible.
Be curious is we got to find out where the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is on all this stuff. I mean, I assume that they're watching talk. I hope members of the Florida staff at the Florida Department of Law Enforcement are watching your channel, Andrew.
They are, because people forward this over to them. By the way, feel free to forward this over to the AG, to the IG, to all those other folks. Hopefully these guys are going through this as well. I know, look, it's the audit. This audit was forwarded to the legislature. They know, but hopefully they're looking and listening for the things that we're thinking about here, because the things that they're thinking about, that we're thinking about, I'm sure they're thinking about too. And I'm sure we're going to see these charges coming down. I'm confident of this. The pixie dusters can be in denial all they want. This is not a opinion that's based on me liking or not liking Miss Marvel. Okay. This is based on actual legal fact and just simple receipts we've seen just the emails, right? We didn't look at all 78. We just looked at some, and even from those some, you see clear misuse of public resources. You see clear attempted bribery. You see bribery. You see misuse of bond funds, misuse of security funds, misuse of tax funds. All of these things, fraud, right? Tax fraud, all sorts of different forms of fraud and misleading, right? Failure to disclose employee benefits. Mike, that's one big thing. They're reporting to the IRS. They self-reported themselves to the IRS. They've already done it, saying those taxes on the benefits, the park passes, the cruises, those were taxable employee benefits, and they should have paid taxes on those.
Yeah.
So the IRS is already going to have to investigate why that happened. Yeah. You can't turn yourself into the IRS and expect them not to investigate. Right? Anybody who thinks that is insane. Last but not least on Rumble, though, one last one here on Rumble, which is, can they get iMessages? Yes. iMessages are indeed subject to public record requests. Apple doesn't give you special protection, right? Just because you're down with the jobs technology does not mean you get special protection. All of those are subject to public records. Some guy with cancer said PwC was too stupid to count the Oscar votes. Nobody should be shocked. Also, the big four suck, as Mike said.
Yeah, they do.
Overrated.
Completely overrated. It's just another brand of cronyism.
Yep. Tim Riggs says, not only sunshine laws for government agencies, but aren't there requirements for internal company retention for 7 years? Then there's potential spoliation issues and negative inference permitted, right? So yes. So there's public records law, which says you have to keep the records for a certain period of time. They cannot delete them. So there's not just there's public law, right, for the government, and there's also your corporate policy. But beyond that, what we're getting to here is that the cell phones were district property, and we don't even have those yet. That's what they're withholding. We already know that the Inspector General is investigating the withholding of messages, text messages, etc. So that's what I would expect going forward, is looking at really insane text messages. That is another shoe that will drop in the future. And there's no way for Bob to dodge it. There's no way for Bob to get out of it. So there's a lot that can come from that indeed. So yeah, that's what I have today. So guys, I wanted to not keep this too long, but I want to, make sure that it's something you guys can understand. So I will definitely be bringing this up again as we get more evidence, as we get more clear things. But frankly, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I didn't even go over every single thing, because to go over all 78 pages would take all day, and I don't even think we'd finish. Right? If I was going line by line of everything, particularly of the financials and the reports and everything else. But you guys can see that just glancing at some of the documents, we looked at maybe 10, 12, and you see stuff that just leaps out at you as wrong, illegal, and certainly going to bring down the hammer on Disney. Mike Healy says here, could Twitter direct messages be used, Elon? Yes. Yes, they can be used. So that is the one thing about YouTube, about social media. If you are a government or a government employee and you're using it for government purposes, it can be taken. So in Florida, all social media, we have very clear rulings on this. All social media is subject to public records requests. So that is absolutely on the line. Mike, do you have any thoughts here before we wrap this up?
Stay tuned to this channel for more predictions of the past that come true in real time today. On any given day.
I love to say I told you so when it comes
to
Disney's RCID wrongdoing.
Uncanny. Like literally, I mean, to watch you speculate and now watch these receipts, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. It's like you're reading a book that you wrote a year and a half ago. Literally.
Right. And now I'm just gotta put it out. Be like, look, here's the crime. Here's the receipt. Match these up. Look, we've got this evidence. I said it. It's there. We're done. Boom. We're done. I will have to do that episode of here's what I said a year ago. Here's what we see now. Right. That's going to happen. Okay, guys, I will do that. It just takes me going back and matching it up, but it's all been there. It's all there. We'll get that stuff done. God Shoji, 437 said, could this be the dirt KK had to keep her job? No, it's not this. Because this is like not KK related stuff. She doesn't know about RCID. She may have some other dirt. Yeah, she may have some other dirt, but not this. That's it, guys. Smash the like button on the way out. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow, and I will catch you next time. Peace.